book. So the book tells you the first original graveyard for Africans is in Richmond, and they took the headstones off of the grave. When you go to Richmond and you drive through the main part on Broad Street, that bridge that you cross, that brick bridge, is all your ancestors' headstones.
Wow.
That they took off of the graves, and they built that main road in Richmond, right next to where the new train station is on Main Street.
Wow.
So that's my book.
Wow.
And I'm going to give y'all a copy of my DVD tonight with the greatest stories ever told. I write all my stories that I tell are my stories. I believe that you should tell your own things.
And
your life.
you are a storyteller.
Yes.
Yes.
So you go to schools and you tell stories. What could you give us like a quick 1-minute story?
Oh yeah.
That you might tell.
So you say you woke up this morning with such a need, but in 1 second you just forgot that you just need to breathe. If the Most High just give you all that spiritual energy, and you walking around and don't know that all you need to do is just breathe, well, let me hold you still while you just think. It's not very hard to work yourself up, to hold your chest and watch that it work out. If everyone here just hold your breath, just hold your breath, and see how long you can be. If you just don't know that you need the Most High, because all you ever going to be, you must just do one thing. For you to be you and me, you just need to let your body free and just breathe.
All right.
Yes.
That's awesome. Wow. So when did you start sharing these amazing gifts with youth and in the community?
Well, oh my goodness. I started out really, I think it was like maybe in the 79, 70s. I came to Baltimore, and I was always looking for a cultural community, so I did African dancing, and then I just seen a need for things, so I went because I was in nursing. So I started out cleaning my great aunt's apartment in McCullough Homes. She lived in apartment 201. So I would go in the building and go to market for her and run errands. So she asked me, she said, you need to, I'm not going to give y'all my name, I'm just going to just talk around my name because y'all like to call me Grandmother Edna. So she asked me, would I clean her girlfriend's apartment? And I went in her apartment, and it was a home health aide in there watching the stories. And this elderly lady's apartment looked like, it just cringed me. So I said, well, Miss Woods, I'm here for my, and she said, I know Edna said you was coming. So I just defaulted her refrigerator because I knew I was coming back the next day. So I just turned the refrigerator off. All her medication was all over the place. So I began to read her medication, and they had a doctor in the building then. And I went down to the doctor's office, and I got copies of her medication. I began to get the labels redone, and I organized her medicine, and then her bed was so disgusting, so I cleaned her mattress, and then she was sitting there, and she looked it so uncomfortable. So I asked her, did she want a bath? And she said, well, the lady set me on the toilet and make me wash myself, and I'll put her in the tub. And she didn't want to get in the tub nude, so she got in the tub in her bra and her underwear, and she went to sleep in the tub, and I had to get her out. So you know, you get an elder out the tub, you let the water out, and you put a towel in the tub, and you roll them and you set them on a towel to give them some leverage so you can slide them out. They didn't have to walk in tubs. I got her out and got her dried off, and she went immediately to bed. And she told other people on the floor. So when I came back The next week, I had 3 more people. And then they just started calling me on check day. And I would take their money and just go downtown and do simple things for them. I would go pay their bills and buy their food. So the doctor in the building called me. She said, "Did you get paid for this?" I said, "I wasn't trying to get paid. I'm just doing what my aunt told me to do." And that's how I grew up. And that's how story developed. And I'm a Hebrew. So I came from a lifestyle where family were the riches. See, because today people don't understand what the word rich is. They get riches confused with wealth and materialistic things. But riches is that spirit of royalty. And until we go back and take that blackness thing that we are propagating and throwing it out into the community, until we teach that blackness is the royalty, not a conditional existence, we're going to keep losing our children.
Yeah.
Because people don't see the diamonds and the jade and the emeralds, and they don't see they keep seeing Dorothy's yellow brick road, and she don't know that Yahweh gave the concept of the streets paved with gold. So
you better go ahead and teach.
I'm just a little
I know. Yeah, I love it.
So they call me a fountain, so I'm gonna break myself so y'all can go.
Yes, because you are being interviewed, so that means we gotta ask you some questions.
So
Listen. I love it. If you guys are just tuning in, we are talking with Grandmother Edna.
Yes.
Funniest thing is when I saw your name, I said, I had a grandmother named Edna.
Oh, really?
My great-grandmother, she went on to be with the Lord some years ago. But yes, if you are just tuning in, we are with Grandmother Edna. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could hit the share button. And we opened up with our phenomenal quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. And we asked that if you know anybody who deserves a Black History Month salute, to post their names in the comments and we will shout them out.
Yes, just some names off the top of my head.
Go ahead.
Tavon Mason.
Okay.
And Melvin Willingham with Making of a Man. And Tavon Mason has the Tavon Loves the Kids Foundation.
Nice.
He collects slippers and goes to the hospital, Children's Hospital, to brighten their day.
Amazing.
And
You got a brain freeze.
I sure did. I had another person on the tip of my tongue.
It's going to come back to you. I would like to salute Antoine Jefferson for creating a platform for us to come on and spread the gospel, to spread the good news, be creative.
Really nice.
We salute you, our producer and founder of Awesome God Radio.
Yes. Amazing.
Also, we can't even forget our brother Rashad Mills and all the great and mighty things he is doing in the community.
Yes.
How he is out here. He is
encouraging, inspiring.
Mentoring. Yes. We salute you again. If you think of anybody who we need to...
Some of our mentors. So, I know that Destiny Bright and Nico McGowan are mentors in my program, and they are also WBI members. So salute to them.
Yes,
it's so important to give back, and that's one thing that I teach to my mentees is that receive what we're giving you, and then take it and give it back to somebody else.
Yes.
That's how we will all succeed.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's so important.
Absolutely. And I love how you were passionate enough to start taking it and traveling, and then you weren't going to be stationary. You're going to be, I'm going to move. I'm going to move around. And so tell us about some of the states you've been to.
Well, I took what I call a sabbatical.
Okay.
In the early 2000s, I went from Baltimore to Biloxi, Mississippi. And we just stopped at all the states, and I just went, and the group I was with, they was constantly every day sending people to find me because I was violating the tour guide rule. because I think you gotta leave a group and walk in a regular community, and people don't want to go off the trail. And I went off the trail, and I met some fantastic people, learned some very good stories. I got off the bus, so I got to go in Dr. Martin Luther King House, and I got footage of the alley. And it's amazing that when you go to, because people don't know, they were middle class income people. They were not poor people. If you go to his hometown, you will clearly see that they got the opportunity to do the things they did, because they were not poor people in that sector. And his house has a torn screen, and the story was he would get out that window and sneak out the house and hang with his friends, and then come back in the window. So my father didn't know, because they was all chose that he was being in the South.
Right.
And I got to go. So I stopped in a lot of places, but I didn't get to get off the bus in Kentucky. So in 2013, me and a sister went to a convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and I video everything I do. So I was in the hotel talking to the manager, and they announced my name. Well, we have the fabulous, legendary grandmother Edna, and they came with a limousine, and they took me to the Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
So I actually have original footage of the Kentucky Derby Museum. And the first thing I did was I went in there, European establishment, and I went right to the business of being an African historian. I said, well, where's the black jockeys at? So they tried to explain that they was redoing an area, and they had to move them to the back, and I filmed and a lot of people don't know that Barry Gordy was a horseman, and he owned a horse, and he's in the Kentucky Derby Museum.
Wow.
And then I got to meet Professor Asted, and he was Muhammad Ali's best friend.
Wow.
So he took me on a personal tour. The video is so tremendous. I show at the school children. I had people come over my house, and it's like you're going in a museum. So we sat in my house and watched me with this big time professor in his car, riding me through Louisville, Kentucky, telling me Muhammad Ali's life story.
Wow.
And he was actually a community historian. And people don't know that. And he built the Yum Center. That's like our Royal Farms Arena, but bigger and more gorgeous. And then he took me to the Ohio River, because I do Harriet Tubman. And it changed my story, because we always thought that Harriet now swimmed in a river. But do y'all know that certain times of year you can walk across the Ohio River?
Wow.
And it's on video.
Ooh.
And then they built, Louisville uses their shore, like we have in the harbor. They use their shore area for artists. So they do all their concerts on the banks of the Ohio River. All their art shows are on the Ohio River. And they have a skywalk that you can actually walk up and walk across the Ohio River.
Wow.
So that was a big moment for me in Louisville, Kentucky.
I think one of the main things that you said that is so important is, if you're around someone who's older than you, older people come with a lot of wisdom.
Yes, absolutely.
And just to talk to them and listen to their story, and it's so inspiring, you know, to hear some of the things they went through, or some of their experiences, such as yourself getting to see all of those things is amazing. So it's so important. So if there are any young people out there listening under the sound of my voice, I'm encouraging each and every one of you to find someone to talk to, a historian, find an elder, a senior, anybody in your neighborhood, your school, anywhere, to just listen, just sit and talk with them. They're full of knowledge, full of wisdom, and it will help to help you.
Encourage you.
Yes.
It's a builder.
Absolutely. Over the holiday season, I attended a workshop for parents at my daughter's school, and so they're asking about family traditions, right? And so one of the ladies said something, and it still resonates in my mind. And she was saying, I feel like that when the older grandmothers started to pass on, that the traditions pass with them, and that the younger generations aren't carrying out those traditions. And so when I think about you, and I think about how blessed the world is that you're still here, and how you are sharing knowledge, how you're sharing traditions, how you're sharing our history, how impactful it is for families to be able to have people like Grandma Etna, and even some of the grandmothers who may not even be elders, but still in the matriarchs of the family, and just how important it is to create those customs, to create those traditions, and leave legacies. That's what made them great. Harriet Tubman didn't wake up and say, I'm going to be a historian hundreds of years after I'm dead. She just woke up and decided that something needed to change, and that she was going to be a change maker.
So Johnson, what is a tradition that you would like to keep carry on?
Well, one of the traditions since Symphony's been born is that on Christmas Eve we always come together and we have game night. And so she asked me probably a couple weeks ago, like, Mommy, can we do like we did for Christmas? But it's important to her because she gets to be around all the people that she loves.
She'll tell that story when she's grown. It's going to be a story.
And hopefully she'll continue, whether it's a game night, a dinner, potluck, whatever it is, hopefully. And so what we found even in our family, and I thought it to be true, that some of the elders in our family have passed on, and our family doesn't get together as often. And so I just used her being, it's her first Christmas, let's get together, and then okay, it's another Christmas. And so that's one of those traditions that we've created.
Awesome. I would say one of my favorite traditions as a family is the Sunday before Christmas dinner that we have. And
it's different.
So because a lot of our family has gone on to be in heaven with our Lord, we a lot of the younger ones have had to come together, like myself, my brother, and my cousin. We normally are the ones that get it all together, and sometimes my aunt and uncle will help out, but for the most part a lot of the responsibility kind of falls on us, and we make sure that we make it happen. So like we were able to surprise my aunt for her 75th birthday. I saw
her bopping in the door, dancing
to her favorite song, Money. Cardi B.
But you know what though? That's good.
Yeah,
and that's all right though.
But one of our traditions also was, so every Saturday everybody would come over our house when we were younger, and we would sing songs. It was Teddy Pendergrass, Earth, Wind and Fire, Diana Ross. I know.
I think that was the national anthem for the Black family.
We would play games like Pac-Man, and we would watch Saturday Night Live, and we would go bowling. So Saturday was our big day that we would do it up like the family. We would all come together, and I loved that, and I always look forward to that. So we started going on vacations together, so we started recreating that in a different way. Like our spouses are like, you guys just make up times just to get together.
Why not?
But you know what? We do a pre-Thanksgiving dinner. We do like the family reunion, and then we do a pre-Thanksgiving dinner. And what we do is we pick a place, and like year before last, I had them in the city, because we're from Virginia, but we migrated to Harford County, and what y'all now call White Marsh. I don't go there.
Wow.
I don't do business in White Marsh because I actually grew up in what is called Bradshaw, and that was the hub of the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
So because I'm 71, and I had real life experiences, and I know that it never was a Jim Crow period, that America is the Jim Crow. So I don't do business in White Marsh because White Marsh taught me not to do business in White Marsh.
Wow.
But it's times are changing. So we have Thanksgiving dinners, and what we have family dinner, and we all come together and we eat Thanksgiving dinner together. And then on the actual day, families go to their individual houses, and we all cover. And then in January, all the young people do a roller skating thing. And the last time I went, I put on some skates and knocked out 22 people. So I'm glad. I'm glad not to go to no.
I'm not even putting the skates on.
My kids said, could y'all please not get mine? No matter what she say, no skates.
Did they get that on camera? Because you said you like to record things.
Well, you know, I have a contract with my family.
Okay.
Because I'm really a personal person, and to see all the things I do, people think I'm like, woo. But actually, when I'm with my family, we have a family rule that they do not record me and put me on Facebook, because I like to come in my family house and be me.
Exactly.
And I'm a comedian, really. And but people don't know. I mean, well, y'all knowing it now, but I really, I'm really like y'all wouldn't believe the type of person I am. Other than what y'all see, because I'm really, my family is my bond. So it's like my wings, so I can fly in.
Right, you can go into your comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah. So all our customs, like all the men in my family, their wives don't work. My father, my mom didn't work. It's a tradition in our house.
You have any younger brothers looking for a wife?
My brother,
we got some single sisters.
Actually, my younger brother runs.
Wait a minute. Can I say something for a second?
Yes, go ahead.
Damon, are you listening? I'm sorry. Go right here.
So
I just had
my younger brother,
to
actually,
my husband.
People don't know that. My brother runs the drug initiative program at Johns Hopkins.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And he
and you said he's single.
No, he's married.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And his wife
pass him on to somebody.
and his wife doesn't work. And all my nephews, I'm bragging rights. All my nephews, most of my family members are self-employed.
But see, that's so important, that tradition. So they're passing that tradition of the wives not working on.
If they want to work, they can work, but their money is theirs.
I like that even better. I like that tradition.
A couple of my nephews whose wives are working, they spend their money because their husbands pay their. Because my father said, if you choose this woman to be your wife, then you're choosing everything that she does. My mother was treated better than Cleopatra on the
Come on now.
Okay.
All right, husbands, all the men out there listening. Yes.
So we got to get back to royalty.
Yes,
and tradition. And
royalty.
Tradition. I think that's the big thing, is that people, continue to steer away from tradition.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed that one of the traditions at Western High School is changing this year. So they're allowing girls to wear tuxedos. So the tradition has always been for Western girls to wear white gowns. But this year they're allowing some of the girls who identify not as a female, so to say, to wear a white tuxedo. So it's caused a lot of stirring of the pot, so to say. But
God didn't tell us to judge. He told us to be respectable to Him.
That's right.
That's my message. But the first African American female principal was at Western. Did y'all know that?
Wow.
The first African American
principal was a woman at Western.
Right.
Western had the first African American lady that was a principal. I do in my program. So I do so many people, so I'm going to get stuck on the name.
Get this program.
That's okay. We're going to have to look them up.
Oh, well, it's not hard. They should have her mounted, and if she isn't mounted, yes, she is.
All of the principals are up there.
Yeah, but she is traditionally historical.
That's wow. That's amazing. Well, one of the traditions that I was thinking about was, about us dancing. So what we did for my aunt, we had the kids dance to an old time song for her.
Oh.
So they danced to September from Earth, Wind and Fire,
Nice.
and it was so cute. It was so cute, and she was just so tickled pink.
Oh.
So like we gotta get back to doing things like
And we got to do one thing in the room.
What's the,
While I'm present, my Spirit in Motion Freedom student wrote a bill, and it didn't get any attention, but they asked to remove labeling from our children. You know, I used to travel around with a jar when I went to meetings.
so I'm gonna have to ask you to hold that thought for 1 second.
Go ahead.
So we can go to break.
Yeah, we're going to
Yes.
take a quick break.
Yes. So if you are listening to Women in Business International Radio, please keep it locked, and we will be right back shortly.
We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Shantae from Girls Talk Radio, reminding you to download the AGR app so you can tune in to the premiere show on 8/8/18, 5 p.m. Y'all do not miss it.
Hi, I'm Larry W. Robinson, and this is Gospel Updates, your gospel entertainment news report. Today's episode is brought to you by the latest issue of Gospel Updates e-magazine. Get your copy at gospelupdates.com. I am super excited. BET's Sunday Best is coming back. Gospel superstar Kirk Franklin took to social media to make the official announcement. Take a listen.
It's official. Sunday Best is coming back. That's right, it's coming back. And if you want to be the next gospel sensation, go to bet.com/Sunday Best and get more information on the website. And all the information is on the website right there. I'm telling you, this new season of Sunday Best is going to be better than ever. I'm telling you, it's your boy, your cousin, your nephew. Sunday Best is back, y'all. Go to bet.com/Sunday Best for more information. I will see you soon. Let's go.
You are listening to Gospel Updates. I'm your host, Larry W. Robinson. I will have more after this.
Bishop Bernard Jordan and Bishop George Bloomer are assembling a host of prophets and prophetics in New York, New York on March 21st through 22nd. Register free today at mypropheticcollege.com. Come to collaborate and participate in this 2-day Q&A roundtable with some of the leading prophetic voices in the nation. Get your questions answered concerning the prophetic. Register free today at mypropheticcollege.com. That's mypropheticcollege.com.
We're back, and you are listening to Gospel Updates. I'm your host, Larry W. Robinson. Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr. is celebrating 30 years of preaching and 15 years of pastoring. The celebration will take place on March 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia. He made the announcement by sharing his first mini-movie and illustrated sermon on social media. Now look him up on Instagram to see it for yourself, but let's take a listen now.
I gotta close tonight, but I'm so glad to hear that God's got a resurrection. Shake somebody's hand and say, get up. Whatever's had you bound, get up tonight. Yeah, he was wounded for my transgression, bruised for my iniquity. The chastisement of my peace was upon him, and with his stripes, shake somebody's hand, say, with his stripes, I am healed.
You've been listening to Gospel Updates, your gospel entertainment news report. I'm your host, Larry W. Robinson. For these and other happenings in the world of gospel, visit gospelupdates.com. Also, visit gospelupdates.com to submit gospel happenings in your community today. That's gospelupdates.com. Thanks for listening. Now stay tuned.
Hey guys, it's Sierra Arnold, realtor and contractor with Arnold Construction Group, providing all of your real estate and construction needs under one roof. Give us a call at 443-429-2149 to schedule a consultation today. And you're listening to Awesome God Radio.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome back. You are listening to Women in Business International Radio. I am Shakira Johnson.
And this is Taylor Kay on the mic.
And before the break, we were talking with Grandmother Edna.
Yes, and hearing all about her amazing life and all of the good works that she's doing in the community.
Absolutely.
So you were talking about a bill?
Yeah, my Spirit in Motion Freedom students, they wrote a bill. They don't really pay stuff right too much attention, but I for years went in meetings with a jar, and when people called children kids, I would make them donate to the youth part of my program. And I would go home.
I know that's right.
I would go home with a lot of money.
And tell us why, because they baby goat. They not baby.
Yeah,
goats.
because if you look up the definition, and I used to have teenagers that travel with me, and we called them Spirit in Motion intern, dictionary intern. So when we would have a meeting and a word came up, and we couldn't get the definition good, like the word hood, I would have the children look it up, and they would give the definition, and we would work on that. And I teach a big program about the miseducation of our children, because I firmly stand on history. And if you read Dr. Carter G. Woodson's book, The Miseducation of the American Negro, you will clearly find in chapter 3 that everything we're doing today, he prophesied it to be. So we need to know that the word hood, and I hear wealthy black folk, I hear medium black folk, and I hear just children referring to themselves as living in the hood, and that's so disencouraging to me, because the hood is officially a covering for your head. And then they have another definition. I had a teacher tell me this, the hood is a place where like-minded people gather. I said, well, then we don't live in the hood, because if you consider the hood as a place where like-minded people gather, and you call Sandtown and different neighborhoods in Baltimore City the hood, well, if you look at the murder rate in those neighborhoods that they're calling the hood, well, it can't be the hood, because there's certainly not no like-minded people in there. You know, so this is what I teach children. When I go in school, I have a book called The House That You Live In. And this is part of my Read a Book program. And I give out actually work papers where the children I teach them what hood mean, what yo mean, and words that are negative in our community. And I have the children color the house, draw their community, and it says what state you live in, your community, your city, and your street, and your address. And it takes that negative hood word out of our language. We historically need to get rid of our negative language. We're profiling ourselves. I invite people to watch a movie called Profile. And then I tell young people to read the movie Spies of Mississippi. And then I'll send y'all to research the Sovereignty Act of 1952. So these are just steps to teach self-motivational properties, because we profile ourselves, and then we yell at the police when they shoot our children down. But you let your child go out the house with a hoodie on, 90 degrees outside, drawn on his neck, pants hanging down off his butt, which is a slave breaking tool, not a prison tool. Before the prison did it, the plantation overseers would take the young rough bucks that was ready to run on the plantation, and they would rape them, and they would put them in colored underthings and tie their belts below their butts, so that the next overseer came through would know who had already been broken and who didn't need to get broken. And maybe if they teach our children some correct history instead of relating us all to the prison system, it would be a deterrent that we don't profile our own house. You know, and that word profiling is big with me, and we need to, in the black communities, in the African community, we need to teach blackness as a royalty.
Well, you were getting ready to touch on talking about the Jim Crow law not being Jim Crow law, but American law.
Oh, let's go there. So,
okay.
So, and I don't know, it was in the middle 2000s. I was at Sojourner Douglas College, and they had a young lady there that had wrote a book on the Jim Crow period. So I sat there and listened to her. So when it was over, I asked her, so, well, what period of Jim Crow? And she began to tell me that she traveled and she researched the prison. I said, sweetheart, in 1935, Hitler used the Jim Crow laws of America to build the Nuremberg laws that marched the Canadian Jews to the death camps. So all the things that they did to the Jewish people in the I'm going to go historical Holocaust were practices that they did on the enslaved Africans that they brought to America. Q7 was actually what they did to the black women on plantations, cutting babies out of their wombs and marking the African sister's breast so that the white breast was for the white baby to milk off of, and the black babies could suck off of the left breast. People don't know that history, and we need to understand that we're fighting civil justice for one of three constitutions, because this country has three constitutions, and the one that identifies us as the Declaration of Independence, where we weren't in it. So we're going to a federal system, which is a 501c3, like your program, Nicole, and we're asking them to do a justice process when we were never written into the Constitution in a judicial property situation until Dr. Martin Luther King marched and had the civil rights action going on. So we need to really invest in mental knowledge, because I tell people power is only if you apply your knowledge. You can gain all the knowledge you want. If you don't apply it, then you limit your power. So we need to look up what inmates, the word inmate in Baltimore came from, and this is part of my research now. I'm getting ready to change the culture of Baltimore City. Could y'all ask me so I'll stay with the interview? I want to stay with the interview, but I had to get this in really quick. I have a quilting exhibit at the Flag House Museum. Now, the Flag House Museum is one of the original plantations in Baltimore City.
Wow.
It's actually right across the alley from the Reginald F. Lewis Museum.
Right.
And it was run by Mary Pickersgill. Well, in 1810, Mary Pickersgill paid $12 and brought a 13-year-old African girl named Grace Wisher, who actually sold the flag that flew over Fort McHenry that created lawyer Francis Scott Key's anxiety about his slaves in Frederick, Maryland. So I approached the museum because I went in there and I asked where was Grace Wisher at, and the young lady, Amanda Davis Shore, said, Grandmother Edna, there's actually no pictures of her, so I dotted her in. So when I looked on the wall, when I was in school, two-room schools, we got art classes by drawing dots to create an image. I said, oh my God, no. So I went home and I drew a draft, and this is what I came in. This is actually a quilt with Grace Wisher on it, and the material she's holding, I am the second person in the history of this country to be given second bunting material from the original 1813 flag to sew onto my quilt.
Wow.
And I have the largest quilting, hand-sewn quilting exhibit in the state of Maryland. I have a building at the Flag House Museum completely full with my quilts. I have 14 quilts on exhibit in the Flag House Museum. Now there's a group of young people called the Black Wolves and they asked me to mention it. They're working on a flag project, a human flag, the RBG human flag, because they have a flyer that said the Coons is the only nation that don't have a flag. Well, it's good that they start right there, because I'm going to praise them because they're listening, because we do start somewhere, but I want them to understand, until we let America know that y'all not saluting a flag that a 13-year-old indentured African-American who lived in an attic space on the 3rd floor for 5 years of her life, so they say. There's no record of what happened to her after that. I'm researching that. There's no record of her grave. Wow. And the word inmate that y'all all use in the prison system describing Baltimore City is actually a word that the Baltimore County orphanage courts gave to poor black people when they took them from their children and they put them in the almshouse in Towson. Wow. So this is history that I'm researching. So if you were an orphanage in Baltimore City, they automatically labeled you an inmate and locked you up. So we're running around living on a system of 1,800 laws that said that all black people was lazy, indignant, because you didn't equal the European lifestyle. They could take your children and sell your children. And Mary Pickersgill gave Nancy, her mother, $12 for her, and then took money out of the $12 to pay for the dress that she put on her to take her with her. Wow. So this is, you talking black history. We need to really experience the black history, because it's important, young ladies. It's important. This is really great what you're doing here, and you have a God foundation. And if you do not step out on faith, then you're in sinking sand. It's a true thing. It's true. So I just praise y'all. I'm thankful that y'all had me on, and it's just so much that could be done. You can't do it all in one night. And I teach history 365 days a year. Yes. And I was one of the first women to go into what is Shuckenham Juvenile Services and Video. And I took a gentleman with me that did 35 years in the juvenile prison system. He was locked up when he was 16, and he went to what was called the Boys Village in the 50s. So he was still alive to go with me into Shuckenham. And when we was driving to Shuckenham, he started crying, because that's where he was when it was called Boys Village in the prison.
Wow. That is so deep.
Yes.
Well, again, you don't know unless we ask.
I think I should have had a paper and a pen. I will be catching the replay, taking some notes. Wow, what a blessing and an honor to have met you and have you featured, our first historian.
Yes, awesome.
Yes, you are so amazing. We're so grateful for you. I know Deborah Jefferson, who's tuned in, she said you learn something new every day.
Yeah, every day.
So she was
I'm going to be a student. I tell people I'm a student.
Lifelong student.
Lifelong student. Uncertified, undegrees. I sat on a lot of boards, but it's nothing like every time I get the honor of, it's just amazing how young people just get me. You just said, she just seen me. She said, Grandmother Edna, we need you to come on our radio show.
Yeah.
And I said yes. And it was a matter of not even 42 hours, because I stay prepared. I had my bag prepared. They call me Johnny on the spot. Schools call me Mother Edna. I said yes, I'm on my way. I don't charge. People give me donations because I think education should be free. When Morgan State University researched George Washington's will and understand that Morgan started in Virginia, maybe all the students that graduated from Morgan will be able to get a refund, because George Washington wrote in his will that all the enslaved people that he freed should be allowed to have a free education, and I will stand on it. Morgan is a historical university now, and the student there should be going to college for free. Morgan State University. Dr. Wilson called me. I'm good on this. I'm working on this. But I just think that it's awesome to see young people just doing this. You know, you have the black media crave. You have the energy to say we can't do things, and then you come into. I go to radio stations, and this equipment here is equivalent to Kathy Hughes' WBOL and WEAA.
Come on now.
And
This is how we do it.
And we had the pleasure of meeting
Awesome
Kathy
God
Hughes.
Radio.
We met her.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure.
And she did the same thing. Y'all know that.
Yes.
Her and her son, she did the same thing. And it's always good to let our children know that we're standing on not dreams.
The shoulders.
I hear people say dreamers. No. You're standing on a manifestation of success. I'm going to do this.
Yes.
I'm going to finish
Come
this.
on
I
now.
am. My two favorite words.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Woo. We hope you guys enjoyed this because we certainly did.
Yes. A lot of knowledge. And like you said, I love lifelong learners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
And my
your
granddaughter was
education
in her
is so
program.
important. Yes.
Aw,
And her granddaughter
what
was
an
in my program.
Listen, here's one last chance. If you have anyone who deserves a Black History Month salute because they are out here making a difference each and every day in the lives of women, men, boys, girls, the community, and they're working to change the world. We ask that you would comment on this post and shout their names out. We salute them. We want to pay homage to those who are change makers.
Yes. And I just got a message from my husband. He said he never listens to the replay. He always listens the night of, but he's going to listen to this replay because it was amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a fantastic young man. I love the fact that y'all family, but y'all both have individual challenges that y'all meet, and I like that. He stands for Nick, and you stand for Nicole, and I just can't. Y'all don't have enough time for me to talk about my girl Merle. Yeah, I don't have enough time to talk about her, but it's good when I can safely say that I deal with positive Baltimore. I meet positive young people. I'm not going to let the news say that we're the most dangerous city in the world.
Right.
I'm not going to allow that, because when you walk into these high schools in Baltimore City, it's brilliant children coming out of these buildings.
Yeah.
Gifted and talented. Oh, man.
Out of the same buildings.
Yeah.
You're talking about Dunbar.
Yes.
You're talking about
Frederick
Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
Yes.
You're talking about any high school here
Any-
in Baltimore
any-
City.
Yes.
Any Carver,
have some
Carver
amazing-
Mercator Tech.
Yes.
Mergenthaler made airplane parts back in the day.
They also, so we had a guest on who shared that she got her LPN graduating
Yes.
from Merville.
Yes.
So they were actually able to get their LPN back then.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Leon Bailey, The Dream, Wrestler, back in the day. Cherry Hill, come
Yes.
on. We have just got to stop ourselves in our tracks and see the footprints in the sand is there. We just got to sand script ourselves and get
And
that.
take that lemon and make lemonade.
Yes. Woo! Yes.
You know, it's time for us to take that lemon and make
Yes.
lemonade.
Yes.
Let's not have a little pity party, but let's say this is how we going to do it. Let's show them how we going to do it.
This is one of my famous quotes.
By Frederick Douglass.
No.
No.
Grandmother Edna, a broken vessel
Okay.
cannot take water back to the village.
Come on now. Say
Say
that
it
one more
again,
time.
Grandma Edna.
A broken vessel
Cannot.
carry water back to the village.
I love it. I love it.
A Broken Vessel Cannot Take Water Back to the Village by Grandma Edna. I love that.
Woo! All this knowledge and power. Woo! If only y'all could feel it.
Well, again, we thank you so much for being on our show this evening.
So, listen, we have Thriving Business Thursday coming up. This week, we'll be at the Gala Center in Windsor Mill, Maryland, and we are honoring some phenomenal queens. So, tickets are on sale right now on our website at www.wbiradio.org. Tickets are $15. We do have vendor space available, so if you or someone you know is interested in setting up as a vendor, now is your chance. Make sure you contact us online. Again, it's www.wbiradio.org. We have a tab right on there for vendor opportunities. If you would like to be a featured guest on WBI Radio, make sure you contact us online, www.wbiradio.org, so that we can get you on the air so you can find out more about advertising opportunities. Also, mark your calendar, save the dates. We are turning 1 year.
Know what
this year is? It's our anniversary. WBI Radio Show is 1 year old. So we have a whole new date. It's April the 11th. Tickets are on sale, and we're going to have it available for you on our website. We're so excited.
Yes.
We can't wait to celebrate. I told you, Taylor K, can you imagine if we got all the guests under one roof?
Woo, that would be a powerhouse.
It sure would.
That would be the definition of a powerhouse.
Okay, listen. You guys have got to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Women in Business International, to catch some of our former shows. We had, oh my God, some of the greatest guests in the building. And we're going to be celebrating all of the major accomplishments that we've been able to achieve in this past year. So we'll be...
And we have a special announcement that we will make that day. We have a special announcement.
Woo. Taylor K, what you going with? We gotta be extra cute.
They not ready.
They're not even ready.
They not ready.
Lord, and let me tell you how he just preparing us.
Yes.
He just preparing us. And I'm just so grateful that we answered the call. When he gave us the vision, he said he would make provision. And sure enough, he has been making provisions each and every day, in every way, sending resources, sending people.
Girl, you can really make me have church.
But I'm just saying, because they need to understand, it don't matter when he gave it to you. If he said it, it's going to come to pass. And he spoke it. Before we was even in our mom's wombs, he gave it to us.
Come on now,
And look at the manifestation. Look at the people who we're getting to touch.
You wasn't saying too much earlier, but come on now, you making up for it now.
That's all right. I was soaking it all in.
I know that's right.
So listen, we want to celebrate with you. You guys don't even know what 2019 has in store for Women in Business International and those who are affiliated with our organization. But we invite you to come up.
And our founding members.
Our founding members who are going to be honored and inducted on March the 8th.
Yes.
So we are so excited. We have so many great things. Somebody call. Oh, I'm calling about your event. Hold on now. Which one now? Which one? We got all kinds of goodness. So for all the latest updates, make sure you subscribe to our website so you get the news first. www.wbiradio.org. Additionally,
if you're looking to become a WBI member
right now,
you can also visit our website at www.wbiradio.org.
Additionally, for all the upcoming events for our members who are featured, who have some phenomenal things going on, make sure you check out our upcoming events page so you can get all the latest updates.
Yes, we have so many members with so many phenomenal events coming up.
We try to make them all, Lord knows.
Yes. But the good thing about us is if we don't make it, then someone from WBI makes it.
Absolutely.
And so that's what makes it so powerful.
And one last thing, Taylor K, we have a directory of all of our members online. Someone was looking for a DJ, we got you covered. You're looking for a makeup artist, a graphic designer, I seen you tagging somebody's post, we got you covered. So if you're looking for resources and business owners, women-owned business owners who have great products and services,
daycare center,
you name it.
Clothing lines, yes, jewelry.
We've got it.
Purses.
Got it. Like, I'm gonna come up with a song. I'm gonna have it ready for y'all by the time the anniversary party.
You heard it here first. Johnson is going to have a special song
I'm gonna get with Lisa. She gonna help me work on my rap.
You heard it here first. Johnson is going to have a special song for us.
Look, I ain't gonna say that too loud because she gonna hold me to
you
it.
on the spot.
Listen,
I don't remember everything, but I'm gonna remember that.
It has been a pleasure being here with all of you tonight. Make sure you tune in the same time next week, 8 p.m. right here on Awesome God Radio. All right.
And as we always do, we're going to close with our quote. Individually, we can do great things, but collectively, we can forever change the world, by Nick Mosby.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you next week.